All right, guys. So last Friday you had some notes on writing equations and inequalities. Now I wanted to go through just how I want to see things worked out, how work should be shown, and how you should be underlining, circling, highlighting, boxing, whatever important information. So these are just some sample questions, and this is 2 demonstrations. 1 on how to really dissect your word problems, and 2 on how to solve these specific kind of word problems, which inequality can match, and then on the back it's actually writing them from models. So we're going to start with Lawrence. Lawrence's father gave him 200 baseball cards. Now I have my highlighter. You are welcome to use your pencil to underline or circle, but highlighters help me, so feel free to use them. If you don't have them, please let me know and I'll provide you with one in class. Each week, this is also important, the words each week, Lawrence purchases 25 baseball cards to add to his collection. Which inequality can be used to find W, the number of weeks after starting his collection, when Lawrence will have more than 750 baseball cards in his collection? So there are a lot of little things here in this question that are important. Let's start with 200 baseball cards. That's how much he has. Then it says each week Lawrence purchases 25 baseball cards to add to his collection. So over here to the side, each week he gets 25 more. What letter do they use to represent the number of weeks? They've defined our variable, which is W. W is what we don't know, so it is a variable, and we use it in place of a value that we're trying to find. It's our unknown. Unknown. Okay? So 25 in each week. The word each means to multiply. And then they also told us about the word add. So I'm adding to what I already have. And then according to my notes that I gave you maybe a week ago now, I want to represent 25 with multiplication of W. So I look at multiplication and then times. This is 8 times a number. This is 14 times a number. So 25 times a number in this case will be 25W. Then I want more than 750 baseball cards. So I'm going to put my 750 over here, and I'm comparing these two. Now I want more than 750, so my alligator is going to eat this number because I want it to be greater. Now that I've written this one out, only one of these answers over here should make sense. Okay? Now, A and C are not correct because they're multiplying 200 by W, and he doesn't get 200 more cards per week. He already has 200. So get rid of A and C. Then B and D are the same thing, except they have a different inequality sign. The answer is going to be D because I want more than 750. I hope I haven't been saying 7,500 this whole time. It's 750. My bad. All right, Jeff. Jeff bought a bottle of water for $2. Where's my highlighter? Actually, let me show you a demonstration with pencil or pen for me, but please, please, please use pencil. He also bought some hot dogs. Some hot dogs for $3 each. Some is an unknown. I don't always know that right off the rip, but Miss Starling knows because she's a math teacher, so keep that in mind. Some hot dogs for $3 each. Jeff did not spend more than $14 on the hot dogs and the bottle of water. Which inequality can be used to find H, the number of hot dogs that Jeff could have bought? H is my hot dogs. How much do those hot dogs cost? $3. So 3H is hot dogs for what? For $3 a piece. Okay? Then he also got some water. and he brought $14. So he can spend no more than 14. That means the alligator has to eat the 14. Okay? And the alligator can also be equal to the 14 because that's how much money he brought. He cannot spend 15, he cannot spend 16. So the alligator can't eat something bigger than 14. It has to eat 14 itself. Now I've got my hot dogs and my water. Here's my water, and then I'm finding a total. When you go to a concession stand, you total things up, you add things up. 2 plus 3H. Now that I have written my own inequality, only one of these will make sense. Okay? It looks like my answer is going to be G. They're adding here. These are incorrect because they're subtracting the $2 from the hot dogs, and that's not what we're doing. All right. Down here, it says which equation is true when k equals negative 15. So this means I need to plug in negative 15 for k. That means I'm taking out k and putting in negative 15. Excuse me. I need to do that for each one so that I know which one will give me the correct answer. I can't just look at these and do them off the top of my head because I'm just in 7th grade and I don't quite understand how to do this fluidly. Now, Miss Starling as a teacher can do this in her head, but I really want you to show your work on these. So you can show up to 4 problems, but it could be less if you're doing the math correctly and you find the answer right off rip. So let's start with F. Let's say 3 times negative 15 minus 11 equals negative 34. Now I'm going to go and rewrite all of them in place of k. I'm going to put negative 15. So negative 53 plus 4 times negative 15 equals 7. Negative 15 divided by 3 plus 17 equals 12. Negative 15 over 5, or divided by 5, plus 2.5 equals 0.5. So I'm going to come over here to F, and I'm actually going to work it out. Positive 3 times negative 15. Multiply or divide, it's an easy thought. Same signs are positive, different signs are not. This is going to be a negative. 3 times 15 is 45. Minus 11 equals negative 34. This is the same signs, add and keep. So 45 plus 11 is 56, and this negative equals negative 34. Now, is this true? No way, they are not equal. Letter G. Negative 53 plus 4 times negative 15 equals 7. Negative 53 plus 4 times negative 15 is negative 60 equals 7. Same signs, add and keep. 53 plus 60 is negative 113. Does that equal 7? No, that's wrong again. H. Negative 15 over 3 plus 17 equals 12. Negative 15 over 3 is a negative 5 plus 17 equals 12. These are different signs, so I need to subtract. Negative 5 plus 17, negative 5 from 17 is 12. And then it equals 12, and it is correct. I found my answer. I don't need to go any further because there's only one right answer here. Okay? Now these, it says an equation is modeled. Sometimes they will use an inequality sign. Inequality. Sometimes. Okay? So this is an equal sign. This sign can change. It has 5 bars which represent x. They wrote that in there. So I'm going to come down here and write 5x. Oh wait, I need to read the question. What value of x makes the equation true? When it says value of x, That means solve for x. When it says solution, value of x, these are all fancy ways of saying answers, please. Okay? So I've got 5 x's, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones, an equal sign, and a 1 on the other side. Now, this says 5x 6 equals 1. Does this make sense? Has Miss Starling written something like this before, ever? Probably not. I hope that you're going to say no to answer that question. I need to describe these types of ones here. Are they positive or negative? They're positive. So I need a symbol to reflect that. Okay? Do I need that symbol over here? Not necessarily, because it's a plus sign and I know it's a positive 1. Can I put it there? Sure. But it's not going to hurt or help you. Now, if these were negatives, then yes, you would need that sign there. Now I have to solve. Ms. Starling has been teaching you to do the opposite operations to the other side. And I've also learned a new way that might help you do this a little more quickly. This says plus 6, so let's get rid of it. Let's bring it over here and make it opposite. So this will be 5x equals 1 minus 6. Does everybody see what I did? I'm going to show you the other way in a moment. So minus 6, whenever I bring it over the equal sign or the river, it flips and does the opposite thing. So this is 5x equals 1 minus 6. 1 minus 6 is negative 5. Now how would I bring this 5 over here? I have to undo it, which right now it's being multiplied, so I need to divide both sides by 5. Cross this out, x equals negative 5 over positive 5 is negative 1. Okay? Now what I could have done was 5x equals negative 5 divided by 5, and then crossed out the 5, and then it would have just been x equals negative 1. Same thing. So the mathematical way that Miss Starling has suggested is minus 6 to both sides, cross them out, 5x equals 1 minus 6, which is negative 5, divide both sides by 5. I know I'm sounding like a broken record repeating this over and over again, but the more you hear it, the better you get at it, the more you do it, the more it makes sense. Lastly, it says the model represents an equation. I have 3 x's, I have 6 ones, and I have 9 ones. Write that equation, 3x, 6 equals 9. It equals 9 because they're balanced, okay? They're equal. I need this symbol here, make this a plus. Now, I can subtract 6 from both sides, draw my river, cross this out, 3x equals 9 minus 6, which is 3. 3 times some number equals 3. That number should be 1. Divide by 3 on both sides. These cancel out, and this is 3 over 3, which is 1. Okay? Solution means answer. Sorry I didn't read the question, but y'all know what we're supposed to do. All right, this is how you do word problems and use models for equations and inequalities.